Sirius XM 104. This is the Jay Thomas Show. The interesting, the odd, and the bizarre people behind the, interesting. The odd and bizarre stories. Jay gets in it, stirs it up, and spits it out. He's a professional. It's all here on the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover, Julie, Madison, Kevin Meaney, Garrett and Christina, and Ira the Weatherman. This is the Jay Thomas Show.
Yep. I'm going to ask just the simplest of simple questions. Who watches fucking baseball and tennis? Who? You know, years ago, I used to feel really, and by the way, just recently, a friend of mine said that ESPN was looking for somebody in L.A. or whatever the deal is. And they said, Jay Thomas would be a guy. And I speak to the guy at ESPN, and I said, I've been a basketball announcer, and I know a little bit about baseball, but I said that, the thing that I really would be interested in would be, doing some football, weekend stuff, football. He goes, well, we have so many of those guys. I said, yeah, I know. He goes, it's amazing that we do all of this stuff, and then when football season comes, our numbers go. They don't even talk about it. Their numbers go up 40%. They have great numbers, right? Because they're the only sports outlet. But football starts, and the numbers. Let's say there's, I don't know, pick a number. Let's say there's 10 million people watching ESPN, a week. It goes up to 14, 15 million as soon as football starts. He said, and so I said, yeah, he goes, and there's so many people that can do it and everything else. So I'm watching the tennis for a few minutes, and it's so fucking boring. And whatever her name is, Serena Williams, whatever her fucking name is, she looks like Ray Lewis, right? They need to, they tested that Olympian, that they found out was a guy or some shit in South Africa or whatever. And a couple of these Czechoslovakian and Russian women, not the really gorgeous ones, the ones that you never see make it through the semis, right? Uh-huh. They're guys. Because they kept showing, because of the rain or because of something, they had to move some kind of important people or people they think they should have shown, but they were in a back court where there was no cameras. Did you read about this?
No.
Garrett? Of course not. It's tennis. So there's some little areas in the back, and they couldn't use the Arthur Ashe Stadium. It was overbooked. And then there's another area where they had place to set up for cameras. And then in the back, they had to set up some people in a smaller venue, right? And they showed these two women that were playing. And it was a Russian woman and a Czechoslovakian, and they were guys. They were just two guys playing, right? And so it's I looked at that. Didn't they show, is it Serena? I don't know which one it is.
Serena, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she is so much bigger. It's almost like if you were in Little League, they wouldn't she'd come to the plate with two strikes. They wouldn't let her play against the regular children. It's the truth. It's like, at some point, there's got to, look at football. Let's just go right back to it. They get all the animals, and they put them on a team. No matter what level you played, when you walk into a major college locker room or into a professional locker room, you cannot believe how big everybody is. Prime example, Marcus Allen, the running back, right? Or Reggie Bush. They look like they're my size on the field. They look like they're 5'8", 200, right? These guys are huge. You can't believe how big their shoulders are and how big their legs are, and they might only be 6 feet tall. And you look at them and you go, wow, and then you see the lineman. I don't think you know what 6'8", 325 looks like. I don't think you know. But these guys are so huge and so fast. So I'm watching the tennis, The Saints had played Thursday. I'm really not interested in any game until your Jets came on, which is an unbelievable game. And I start watching a little bit, and I'm watching the tennis, and then there were 2 baseball games on. And I said, I gotta watch all this. There's gotta be thousands of people that would like me to say something about baseball or tennis or something other than football. And then I'm watching it, and I turned over, and there was a show about the longest living co-joined twins. And I never went back to the tennis match. So I don't know who won. Was it the finals yesterday? Was it the finals or no?
I really have no clue.
No, nobody knows.
How old were the twins?
They're in their 50s.
Get out.
Go online.
Where are they joined at?
The chest.
Facing each other?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of sideways a little bit, but and they've been alive. No, they're in their 50s, and then they have a brother who, of course, is tall and handsome, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what? Let's say he's 50 and they're 45, or vice versa.
Okay.
But he's a great guy, has a wife, and I guess they lived with their parents till they died, and then the brother takes care of him and lives like 2 houses away, and they have to get in this cart and go down the street. You couldn't take your eyes off of it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
Now, I didn't mean not to watch the tennis again. I just forgot about it. It went away, and I forget the baseball games I was watching, but and then I turned on the Seahawks and San Francisco, who I could care less about either one. And, of course, I watched it, And then I turned away from that one time, and I watched a few minutes of Bride Wars, okay? And I would have watched Bride Wars before I would have watched tennis again. I mean, that's how bad. And, I can't stand reality TV. I decided to take just the whole day Sunday and just, went to the gym early and watch a lot of TV and work on the website. We are checking the analytics now from Google, but we're getting, you're right, some huge amount of hits. And to be honest with you, Garrett, it's got to be a mistake.
That's what I think. Or it's counts.
I don't know what it is.
Bots go into the site. It
was 325, and I'm getting checks from as a cookie starter, whatever that is.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I signed up for a thing where when you start with me, where you go the rest of the day, I get some money.
Yeah,
I got $4 last month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the beginning. But it's so I was fooling with that, and I'm watching TV, and I'm doing all this stuff, and I said, they might as well shut. I watched, and I'm not joking, I watched lingerie football the other night. If you've never watched it, we've had the women on, and I didn't really think much of it. It was Philly against Orlando. Kristina.
Yes.
Every woman is built like, forget their faces. Their bodies are perfect, every one of them. And they have shoulder pads and a helmet, and their stomachs are exposed, and then they have those volleyball shorts that have the moose knuckle in it. Mm-hmm. Our guys have a pad, Garrett.
Yeah.
These women, that's pre-moose knuckle.
Wow.
Right? And cleats. And the quarterbacks, throw the ball. They had real plays. They lined up. They huddled up. It's 7-on-7, and it's an immediate rush, but it's 5 yards back. So it's pretty much kind of like flag football. You ever play flag where there's either a 3 or 5 yard rush, but it's immediate.
Yeah.
Right. And it's 7-on-7, and I think maybe they keep 2 in to block. I couldn't believe how good it was. I was stunned. I mean, one woman made a catch in the corner for Philadelphia that was as good as anything I've ever seen a guy make, And,
all right, calm down.
No, I memean, in the corner, elbows in so the ball doesn't go through, and catch it right at the back pylon. That's how guys, I know, I could throw you a bunch of passes in the corner, and you'll drop half of them.
Please.
You will. You know why? Your elbows will be open. It'll come right in perfectly, of
I
course.
catch with my hands like the real man.
Not when it's over your head. You won't be able to turn.
Right.
You know? By the way, congratulations. What a game. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Well coached. And what the strike caused is what you're seeing. Special teams are a very difficult thing not to coach a lot. You have to work on kickoff, punt return, kick blocking.
Yep.
Let me tell you why somebody runs a touchdown on a kickoff. And this is true in soccer. It's true in football. You're supposed to stay in your lane. And when you and if they got 4 guys in the middle and then 2 guys on each side, right? And you just stay in those lanes. And if they move outside, there's 2 guys waiting for them, right? Every touchdown that was run over the weekend, they'd either put rookies or free agents, on those kick teams. They converged into the middle like a little league team. And once you become mesmerized by the ball, right? By the running back, right? And once you move in, the guy goes right outside. I mean, I saw this guy from San Francisco. His last name is Ginn.
Yeah, Ted Ginn.
He ran a kickoff back. Then he ran a punt back.
Yeah.
Back to back. And he ran the punt back down the middle. Okay, where were the safeties? That's all you got to ask. It's like, and they coach this since you're 9 years old. That's what they coach. And so, believe it or not, when you're 9, it's hard. When you're in junior high school, college, and even in the pros, it is the hardest thing to coach because your natural instinct is to converge. And so, that's why special teams coaches are paid so much money, right? And they're so important. And that's what you're seeing. I think if you want to make money, and even tonight you got a couple of games, I think the overs are what you bet. I don't think you bet the team. I think you bet. There's so many mistakes. Poor Kerry Collins. It looked like he'd never played with that team before. They said they didn't like him. He replaced Peyton Manning, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the players said they didn't like him or something, right? So the coach says, look, we're bringing in this veteran guy. When they say veteran, it's like bringing in someone that's never been in professional radio and having the receptionist do a radio show. Right? Who would you hire? You would bring in the professional radio announcer, right?
Well,
and the receptionist,
she'd get a show too.
Eventually. Mm-hmm. But except if you're Cam Newton or whatever those guys. Mm-hmm. But if you have nobody like that, you bring in a pro. So they brought Vodka Collins in, and he had the worst and most unfortunate quote ever. Before the game, one of these ridiculous women said, how do you feel about going out there today and replacing a legend and, blah, blah. He says, well, it's better than sitting on the couch and watching the game at home. After his 3rd fumble, I'm going, gee, I wonder if it's really better than watching. He looked like, it looked like me taking a snap. The ball was flying all over the place. It was sad. Then this wide receiver gives a speech to the team, Reggie Wayne. They're down 34-0, and he gives a speech. And I'm sitting there going, okay, 34-0, and you give a speech? Then he catches a touchdown, 34-7. It's funny. These guys are good at one thing. They're big, dumb brutes. They can catch a football. They're great athletes, and they're stupid. And there's about 10 of them out of the 2,000-3,000 that play that have any brights at all. And then they put the camera on the dumbest one. LaDainian Tomlinson giving your Jets his big fucking speech before the game. Oh, my God.
You're for it?
Oh, yeah. You saw him screaming and yelling?
Yeah, he does it a lot.
Yeah. Meaningless.
Why?
If you really play at that level, you are thinking about your job. Same thing in big time college. You are thinking about your job. There isn't a lot of emotion to it. And people can pretend and all that, but when you go into halftime, Bill Belichick doesn't give any speeches. Vince Lombardi didn't give speeches. Great coaches don't give speeches. You give instructions. You say anything but rah-rah whoop-de-doo. What does that mean?
Lombardi was all about his speech.
No, He always was giving an instruction. He didn't do anything. He didn't give speeches. No, Newt Rockney gave speeches and all that. That's all bullshit, and when the Gipper died and all that stuff, he gave a speech. No. Let's say before the show, I give some rah-rah fucking speech about the show.
Yeah.
Do you give a shit? I mean, you're Garrett Andritz. You're the starting, tight end. You've been around for 7 fucking years, 6 years, whatever, 8 years in this company. You think some rah-rah fucking speech I give you is going to change the way you press the buttons and say stuff on the radio?
Yeah,
no. I told you we were going to do something with the website. You know what you said? Something negative. Numbers are wrong. Kristina would probably get excited for like a minute or two, and then come in and go, I'll be right with you, Pops. She'd get so excited she would pop a huge pee on me.
She left to go to the bathroom.
I'm sure she did. She's taking a pee now. Here's another question. And as horrifying as the 9/11 situation was, as sad as it is to this day, these tributes at the football games, in my estimation, were so inappropriate. Other than the moments of silence, I was embarrassed for the NFL. I was embarrassed for every channel. There should have been a national moment of silence that every man, woman, and child in the United States at a specific time, led by the President of the United States and maybe everybody in Congress, there should have been a national moment that lasted a really long time. They should have asked every car to stop. They should have asked every person not to move. I'm not joking.
Like a huge flash mob?
For 60 seconds. Because that really would have let you know the intensity of the event. Mm-hmm. If right now we took 60 seconds and we really, really think about the horror that happened and how our nation changed, you can't not think about it. Everything would be silent. And it would be sad. You would get sad. You would, or you would maybe not have tremendous emotion, but I guarantee you couldn't avoid thinking about it. All that shit on TV. And another thing, why is it that some of our greatest actors and Academy Award winners cannot read?
Ugh.
Robert De Niro was on every channel. He can't read.
Oh, you guys saw that in TV land, too? I thought that was just for us at the stadium.
No, it was on every channel, in front of every game.
Oh, really? With him in front of the fountain, the reverse fountain thing?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And he can't read. And so what's weird is I was also watching the Turner Classic Movies, and they had this actress, Ileana Douglas. I don't know if you know who she is or not, right? Mm-hmm. But she was hosting the movies. And she read from a teleprompter about what's supposed to be her favorite movies that she was hosting, right? And she was horrible, right? Horrible. And I'm looking at that going, God, why didn't she just speak from her heart, right? Or whatever. Robert De Niro, same thing. He's a New Yorker. He lives in Tribeca. His father was a famous artist. His mother was an activist downtown. His entire life is New York. He is a dyed-in-the-wool New Yorker. He is a great actor. And he is a passionate man. And he reads off of a teleprompter with absolutely no passion whatsoever. It was almost like it was painful for him, you know, to have to read this thing. And people go, well, this isn't his arena. Yes, it is. He's a performer, you know. At least make the words, somebody write the words. So, I mean, I could read something and make you truly believe I was passionate about it. I mean, that's the simplest thing you can teach a person to do as an actor, and I'm a fucking nothing. And could they have lit him any worse and made the bags under his eyes look any bigger? I mean, I have to tell you something. For $1,500, a friend of his takes out the fat that's under his eyes. He has a couple of black eyes for a couple of weeks, and Robert De Niro looks 10 years younger at the end of the thing. That these guys don't do that is unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable. And when you light somebody, and I'm not a lighting guy, but the way they lit him, he must have been lit from above or something. I don't know. But I'm looking at it going, this isn't inspirational. This is a guy reading a placard. You know? I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. And I think it was because I was focusing on, you know, I was trying to focus on everything, and instead of being so cynical and everything else, I wanted to watch the games. I wanted to see what the tributes were and all of this. And there was never a moment when I went, wow, you know, that got me. Did anything get you yesterday? Did anything, maybe in the stadium?
Yeah,
you were moved? What got you?
I always get, like, choked up just during the national anthem and stuff. I don't know why.
Whether it's 9/11 or not.
Yeah. But this was, you know, a little extra.
Right. Okay, perhaps on site.
But, just, yeah, it's like being there around, you know, 80,000 people and stuff. It just...
By the way, I'm going to get to everybody, 888-4-102-102. I'll talk to you in a moment. But all of the tributes in the paper, they literally were running out of stupid stories to tell. And they had talked to the front page of People magazine, had the most adorable little girl on it. And, of course, she was in her mother's stomach when the father was killed in 9/11. So People magazine, to sell 50% more magazines, puts this beautiful little girl on there. And it's a whole magazine about children who were not born when their parents died. Now, if one of my kids... What? Well, what?
Just their fathers, right? I would assume.
But that's true.
Yeah.
Hard for the mother to do. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm such an equalitist. I forgot that. I thought maybe the man could carry the child for just a moment. Well, so I look at the thing and I read the magazine and I'm thinking the last thing you want to do is keep telling your child that, you know, your daddy's dead, your daddy's dead, your dad. In the pictures, some of the women won't date, they haven't married, and they wake up every day and they talk to the picture of the husband with it. And I'm reading the thing going, these kids are going to be fucked up completely, you know?
There's some new documentary out.
Yeah.
Where they set up a camera above the Ground Zero site and let it record for 10 years.
Right.
And then they also did interviews with people affected, one a year for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And they follow, you know, one woman's life who, you know, one woman got married like 4 months later and had a kid. Another woman took 5 years to get over it. And you know, it was pretty good. Check it out. The various newspapers
have, you know, a person, you know, that they follow. You know, this happened to this woman, right? So here's the woman, kind of a good-looking woman, I would say exotic-looking, dark skin, dark hair, and they had a cool picture of her. So I looked down. She was a stripper, and she married a Marine, and they have twins. And while he's overseas, you know, this is before 9/11. While he's overseas, wherever, she starts fucking another guy, right? Mm. And she was from Tunisia. And so she had gotten her green card with the Marine, and she's got the kids, he gets an early discharge so that he can come home and deal with his family life. He's still in the Marines, but he gets transferred back to the States, right?
Yeah.
He comes back to the that he married, and he says, you have to get Jesus in your life or we're done. She goes, okay, fine. So they start going to church. They get Jesus, okay? He gets a job out of the Marine Corps, works in the World Trade Center, and he dies. Okay? He's dead. He's dead. And so then she marries a first responder. Starts going to all the things, you know, the stripper. And she has 2 more kids with this guy. And America's so fucked up that she and the guy she's married to are moving to Tunisia. I wanted to wipe that story. I was looking at it going, you destroy everybody's life. You bring the fucking guy home. He's trying to save his marriage. You get him in a position to fucking die. Then you have 4 fucking brats, right? It was like they ran out of really good stories, you know? And she's from Tunisia.
Oh, she's from there?
Who the fuck is from Tunisia?
I don't even know where it is on the map.
It was the first country to start the Arab Spring of 2011.
Oh, that Tunisia.
That Tunisia. Not Tanzania. And Kristina, did you watch any of the tributes over the weekend? Did you?
Were you moved? Bit. I was. Were you moved by any of them? Every year.
You were moved. Okay.
Moved every year. I was moved by the children and the crayons that they gave out to. They have the names on plaques, so they were handing out crayons so you can stencil the name for yourself onto a piece of paper. I thought that was sweet.
I think it was on Friday I announced that the 10th anniversary in 1951, December 7th, of Pearl Harbor was not on the front page of any newspaper. And there were no tributes to the 10th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. And then after that, all I remember is that on December 7th, no matter when it was, I remember specifically an early Sunday morning, and I was really little. My dad happened to be at Annapolis when Pearl Harbor was attacked. He had graduated from Texas as a petroleum engineer, and I guess there was a program where, you could go to one of the academies, and so he went to Annapolis. And so now he's at Annapolis, and Pearl Harbor is attacked, and he's, I guess, in the middle of getting his commission and becoming a naval engineer. Right? And he was the first fleet that they sent in after when Pearl Harbor got its, was trying to get attacked back together, right? What people don't realize is it took months for them, to even come out from, it's like they killed everybody, blew up every ship. The Japanese just figured it was, pretty much over, right? But we had a couple of, I think, aircraft carriers or something weren't there, and they came back in. We borrowed ships, and my dad comes in that fleet. So it was December 7th, and I'm a little boy. And it was really a calm Sunday morning. And I come into the living room, and I believe that there was something in the paper or whatever. And my dad said to me, this is what it was like the morning of Pearl Harbor. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, it was very quiet. And the guys had gone to church or whatever the deal was. And they had turned off the radar at midnight. They had turned off the radios at like 1 or 2 in the morning. It was like, everybody turned everything off at midnight. Radio stations went off. You went to bed, right? And so when the planes were coming in, they didn't have anybody to track them, right? So my dad told me this little story about Pearl Harbor, and that's really the first time, except for what you'd see on TV. The reason why we didn't celebrate it or didn't commemorate it is we became allies with the Japanese. And do you know how insulted the Japanese get all the time? And they commit hara-kiri and shit, I mean, they're getting better. But they did all that bowing shit and all of that killing themselves shit. We had to teach the CEOs, I don't know if you know this or not, but the number one businessman in Japan, the award to that person is named for an American. An American went in there when we're rebuilding it, and he taught them the American way of doing business, which wasn't when you lost money, you killed yourself. He kept saying, look, you lose your best and your brightest because you fucking guys kill yourselves, or you get depressed, or whatever the fuck it is, right? So they were killing themselves, and so they figured, if we do a big thing about Pearl Harbor, they'll be so busy bowing, they won't get any fucking work done, and apologizing and all that shit. Let's go to Jimmy Mack, the bookie from Boston, who's now in Florida. Did they catch you in Boston and you had to move to Florida? How's it working?
Jay, I'm back, baby. Football season is here.
Yeah, pal. What do you think of the line? Listen to this one. It was the game. Was it a college game that went out by 3? And who was it? It was Utah, Southern California. At the end of the game, the final snap, Utah was down by 3. They went for a field goal to tie the game. The kick is blocked. USC takes it in. Final score 23-14. Okay?
Yes. I know the game well.
The line is 8.5. Garrett, the line's 8.5. Okay? All right. So guess what? The bookies had just started paying out to the Ute fans. Then they have to pay out to the. Believe it or not, they overturned that touchdown after the game.
That's right.
They took the touchdown away because it was a dead ball foul, and the ball I don't think could be advanced or something like that.
In college, it can't be. But there was 2 college games this week that got stopped by lightning. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
A game has to go 55 minutes, so I had guys screaming and yelling that they thought they won the game. I had other guys thinking that they lost, but they didn't. It was an absolute shit show to try to explain to everybody the rules. But a game must go 55 minutes to be official. So that was kind of a messy situation with all the weird weather we were having.
Well, now, what do you think about, like, tonight's game? It's almost impossible to guess. It's special teams that are letting everybody down. Do you agree with what I said, that that's something you have to work on constantly?
Yeah, the problem with the kickoff now is it is affecting the totals of the games, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about yesterday. Tennessee was my biggest game of the day, giving 1 at Jacksonville. Everybody had Tennessee. They thought it was an absolute lock, but they didn't cover the spread. It was an amazing game. 90% of the people were on Tennessee yesterday, but I've got the Patriots game tonight. I'm scared. I spent my summer in Aruba, Jay. June, July, and August. I listen to you every single day on the beach. I got back a week ago, and I'm excited to make some more money.
The Patriots play who? Miami tonight?
Play Miami. They're a 7-point favorite. It opened at 4.5. I jacked it right up to 6. I've been taking on the Patriots money all week. I'm trying to get some Miami to level me off, but it's not going to happen where I am.
When you're listening to a guy that makes money placing bets, and you wonder how the line is done, the line, maybe the opening line, has something to do with how good the teams are, but after that, it's all about the money. Will you take it up to 8 or 9 to get people to start betting on Miami?
5 and 8 are kind of dead numbers because, yes, I will move it up. I'm going to move it to 7.5 probably when I get into work in about an hour. I'll make it 7.5. If it keeps flying in, I'll go up to 9. I'll try to draw some wise guy money on Miami. I'll have guys that will take Miami plus the 9, and then they'll go somewhere else across the country and take Patriots minus the 7, and they'll try to get it to land on 8, so they'll win both ways. It's called middling the game.
Right.
So I'll do that just to draw some Miami money. I try to get 50% on each side, but in my business, like, I'm not a casino, so it doesn't happen. I'm usually 90% on the Patriots every week, so I've got to do something to get off of that game to not make it such a big game for me. But
well, the Patriots, I think, Garrett, do you agree? I think the Patriots just win. They win by whatever.
Destroyed by Detroit in the preseason. No,
that doesn't make a bit of difference.
Yeah, it doesn't make much difference. And, Jay, what you were saying earlier about a couple of things I wanted to touch on was the speeches. LaDainian Tomlinson, absolute fucking joke. The guy hasn't done one thing in the postseason. Plus, speeches are for high school kids and Division III colleges maybe. That was embarrassing. I mean, these guys get up there, and a guy that's a veteran, he doesn't need to listen to a speech like that. And the tribute to 9/11, you hit it right on the head. That was a fucking embarrassment for the NFL. I mean, they were trying to, like, actually get people to watch, and using that as, it was horrible. It was embarrassing. It really was. And they're such a class organization. They know what to do. That was really, really a bad situation yesterday.
Garrett, do you think LaDainian Tomlinson's speech, caused the Jets?
We have no chance. Hey, let me tell you something. Any man can be beat on any day. You hear me? That ain't invincible. Any man can be beat. You gotta be willing to die today for it, though, man. You gotta be willing to die today. I am. What about you, man? What about you? Hell yeah. Let's dominate you. Man, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Make it our day. Make it our day. Our day on 3. 1, 2, 3. All day.
Yeah. Let's make it our day.
Jay, it's one thing when a murderer like Ray Lewis does it. I mean, people are going to be a little scared and listen to him because they might actually get murdered. I understand that.
Oh, that's the best line of the day.
Come on. He hasn't done shit,
You know what? Drew Brees gives those speeches for the Saints, and I always want him to draw a mouth on his birthmark on his chin, and one day have the mouth give the speech off of his chin, If I made $50 million fucking dollars a year, I would have the port stain on my chin removed. Okay? I'd have it taken off. That's just low rent.
Remember Ellen DeGeneres.
Hold on.
Let's be special. Let's be strong. Let's spell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Who is that?
That was Drew Brees.
Idiot.
Hey, Jay, I had a very big day yesterday, and for the first week of NFL, it was a very, very good
So what do
week.
you do after a big day? You buy like an 8-ball of cocaine the next day? Is that how you celebrate your bookies?
Yeah, I've only done that twice in my life, once for 10 years and once for 15.
And then you have the two women half naked on each side of you, and you're getting ready for Monday night, and then finally you go, okay, that's enough of this shit. I gotta get to work. And then you go in and you study all day, and then you battle again tonight. I mean, that's the image we have of you.
That's exactly what I used to do 20 years ago. I did that every single week, and I live with my girlfriend now. I have my 2 kids, and it's nothing like that. But on an unrelated matter, I will say this. I spend every summer in Aruba. I heard you talking about the girl down there, and anyways, the other side of the island where they dump all the trash, that's where
when they throw the bodies over, Mm-hmm.
Well, my kids spent the month of July down there with me before they went back to their mom and back to school, but I don't think many people admit this, but I don't really like my kids. They're kind of a pain in the ass. I have twins.
They're horrible. How old are they?
They're going to be 12 next week. I have a boy and a girl. I love them, but they don't really do anything for me. They're just kind of like, I don't know. They're kind of just a pain in the ass to me. They cramp my lifestyle. I wish I didn't have kids.
Yeah. I don't recommend telling them that. I don't recommend saying it to them.
I love them. I love them, but
the thing is, you love them because they have you in them, and so you love whatever has you in it. And yes, absolutely. I agree. But I'll tell you, kids are very hard to like, and when you're a bad parent, you ruin your kids, and you can't say it. But my wife and I definitely have favorites. Her favorite is at college. My favorite is home. She doesn't like my favorite, and I don't give a fuck that the other one's gone. And it causes a problem. She's missing the other one. Yeah, she's missing the other one.
Very honest. And
my other son and I, we're hugging each other. We're talking about stuff. We're cooking together. We're talking. His girlfriend is in there and everything else. And my wife is missing the other one who I haven't talked to in 3 weeks. Who doesn't miss me either, Yeah,
no one would say what you're saying, but it's true. I mean, my son, he's not playing sports right now. He's just kind of a little bit of a pussy right now. He's pussified, but a lot of kids are right now, but he doesn't want to do anything. He's on the computer. He's doing this and he does nothing for me. He doesn't
Let
want
me
to
tell you something. You need to teach him how to book bets.
He sees what I'm doing. I'm sweating out games. I get $50,000 on a game. I'm sitting there going crazy, and he's like, Dad, what's going on? You know,
Tell him.
I'm trying to get him into it. He's good with numbers, but
yeah. Now listen, we got to go after this, but who do you like tonight between the Broncos and the Raiders? What's that line?
Oh, I haven't even looked. I haven't looked at that game. I'm going to take Miami tonight because I need them. I don't really like them, but I'm looking for a late backdoor cover. Denver, I'll tell you one thing. Denver will not win 4 games this year. I think Oakland,
really?
Yeah. Denver's absolutely horrible. They're probably the worst team in the league. I know the team total on them is 4.5 over and under. I don't think they're going to make it to 4. Oakland's pretty good. Oakland should get in that division. They won
Al
every game in the division last year.
Al Davis will continue to destroy Oakland, and I think Kyle Orton will lead Denver to a victory tonight. We'll see.
Are we going to get something going Friday mornings again? A little sports show going on?
Call me Friday morning. All right, call me Friday.
All right, have a good one, Jay.
Jimmy Mack, the bookie. Stay where you are. Charlie Sheen is on the way. That's right. We'll also talk to a guy. All he was doing was regular tourist behavior, Garrett. And the FBI, who arrested him? What group arrested this guy?
I believe it was Long Beach police.
In New York.
California, I would think.
Regular tourist behavior. He even sent us a picture of himself lounging at the beach. And has sent me pictures of his hobby and everything else. Right, Garrett? We got it all here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
What was just a little poetry of his, too.
And so you're going to read the poetry? Get some poetry music ready to go. Oh, my God. You mean So Far Apart, that poem? Oh, my God. And he was in the Glee Club.
Yes.
Just like that TV show. He was in the band. And he was arrested for non-tourist behavior. Stay where you are. Well, I got some interesting emails. The emails are now starting to ask me some personal stuff. Kind of like who am I really kind of things. This is pretty much who I'll answer these questions in a few moments. But this is pretty much it. I mean, I don't say these things to my family, and I'm glad that I'm not immensely popular. Because I wouldn't be able to talk like this. In fact, there's some stuff on the internet. Like I listened to the Kevin Bacon interview. It's really bad. I am horrible to this guy for no reason, and I know why people like it. But I've had a couple of people that wanted to book me on speaking engagements and stuff, and they've listened to that portion of the show, and I lost the bookings. And I'm going to have to take it down. But I start a thing about him having anal sex with guys in a movie. And oh, my God. I don't know what I was thinking. The Bernie Madoff thing is fun. Mm-hmm. But we got to edit everything else out up to that point here. Do not rerun that. That's embarrassing. I mean, I had Gene Hackman on, and they told me not to ask him about acting. And so I waited till he went through the thing with his book and the Civil War and the whole thing. And then, and that's a great clip, But, and Kevin Bacon just sounds like an okay guy. He's boring as shit. There's no doubt, right? And I bet it's a rough night at the beach with that wife of his. Woo! Bet he's glad she's working 18 hours a day. Let's go to Charlie Sheen. Charlie, it's the Jay Thomas Show. How are you, Charlie? I have a message that I have to read. Charlie, what are you thinking about right now, Charlie? What are you thinking about?
Hey, Jay, I celebrated 9/11.
How?
I cut 2 huge lines of coke on a hooker's ass and said, "Look, the Twin Towers!"
Oh no, you didn't. That's.
And after I did them, I yelled, "Let's roll!"
Inappropriate. Get rid of him, Garrett. Inappropriate. Get rid of him. Totally inappropriate. Gone.
Was his roast last night?
I don't know.
Or was that
football was on?
Oh, it's next week, maybe?
Jason Ellis wanted to interview me tonight or something at 4 o'clock. I said, sorry, man, kickoff. Can't do it. If it was the World Series, I would do it. Yeah.
Kevin Kraft is on that show.
Yeah, he and I have been talking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's producing it. Lenny, I can't say the last names, Anaconda. Okay? But you know his name, don't you, Garrett? You see his name? You know it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas, I urge you to reconsider your recent rush to judgment dismissing Jeff Furlot. To be fair, I'm the one that called in. I'm the one that told you that he was calling Covino and Rich. To wit, that having insulted those hosts, parodies, explaining his occupation and his credentials. They remained singularly unimpressed, and then they ended the call. That was hysterical, as here is just another example of a Furlot bit gone horribly wrong, which is why we, his fans, and I suspect you, really enjoy him so much. Because what's he saying, Garrett? That he's terrible? Is that it? That the bits are bad and that's why everybody likes him?
I think so.
He goes on and says all of this stuff, and he keeps saying to me, please don't throw Jeff, reconsider him, blah, blah. Well, because of this email, Jeff is back on the show. But Lenny G. Anaconda, Lenny of Long Island, I don't ever want you to listen to this show again.
Ooh.
Call here, and if I see that you're going to email me or text us or go on Facebook, anything, I will immediately erase it.
Fuck you, Lenny.
When one person is saved, another must die, Lenny. So you're the dead one, and welcome back, Jeff. There you go. That's how it works in the Jay Thomas Show.
Cut off your nose to spite your face.
There you go. Let's go to Robert of Boston. Hello, Robert, 8884-102-102. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Robert.
Oh, I'm from Austin. Sorry.
Oh, Austin, Texas. I had to. Sorry. Go ahead, Austin. I mean, hey, Robert.
Oh, that's all right. Hey, I used to live in Houston, and football hasn't really been a big deal ever since the Oilers left. But when we our team now, I really think we have a good chance of. I know we're going to win the division because the Colts are not going to win it this year.
Hold on. Hold on. You're talking about this professional football team called the Houston Texans, right?
Right.
Okay. The Houston Texans to pro football is almost like when what team did Dallas win a hockey championship once, Garrett? Or
I believe the Dallas Stars won once.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
That's how meaningless they are to pro football. They could win, they could do whatever. There's only one team in Texas, and it's the Dallas Cowboys, win or lose. And the Houston Texans, I mean, even though they won yesterday or whatever, they will never win anything. Nothing. And they will always be meaningless. And they're the most meaningless team in the NFL. There's only one more team meaningless. Whatever team moves to Los Angeles will be almost as meaningless. And I think it's going to... I know, the Buffalo Bills are not meaningless. The Buffalo Bills are actually an interesting doormat.
They might move to L.A., though.
No.
Yeah?
You're kidding. That would be a shame.
Who do you think's going to move?
San Diego.
What? What's the point of moving?
Well, first of all, they started in L.A., then they moved to San Diego, and they don't do that well there. And they're worth $1 million, 2 or 3, or $1 billion, or no, they're worth about $800 million. They say that if they move to L.A., they are immediately worth $1.3 billion if they move to L.A. That's and this guy Spanos, right? I'm telling you, that's what they're talking about. But the Houston Texans, who cares?
It's ripe for their win this year.
Who cares?
Walking through a party in the county jail.
Yeah. So one of the big things on 9/11, and you're going to say it's a joke, but the FBI questioned 3 passengers on a Denver to Detroit Frontier Airlines flight on Sunday. These were innocent strangers that claimed they didn't know each other. 2 of the individuals met on the airplane. Suspicious behavior was reported, and fighter planes were scrambled and followed the Frontier airliner into Detroit. Garrett, do you know why they did all this?
No clue.
A guy and a woman who met on the plane went into the bathroom together. You betcha. That's right.
Mile High.
And they were accused of suspicious behavior, and another guy was watching the door. Right?
An accomplice, or he was...
well, they don't know.
Out or something.
Or whatever. Or he was... But, and when they opened the door... the stewardesses and all have those plastic handcuffs, and they want to handcuff them and hold them for the cop. I swear to God. It was the Mile High Club. You know. Can't even join the Mile High Club. Okay. The terrorists have won, in my estimation. Okay.
No, the stewardesses or whatever the guys are called, they won.
Flight attendants.
Yeah.
Flight attendants, yeah. Let's go to Sander Wolf. Sander, thanks for taking time off. Go to sanderis.com. Sander, where do you call home?
I live in Long Beach, California.
Yeah. Now, 9/11, you know, we're all watching and everything else, and I read this very disturbing story, and I looked everything up on you that I could. You were arrested for not having regular tourist behavior. I've never even heard of this law.
Well, let me clarify. I wasn't actually arrested. I was detained by an officer briefly.
Oh.
When he...
well, I'm a hysteric. Do you realize I'm a hysteric, right?
Well, right. I was feeling a little hysterical myself at the time.
You were detained in Long Beach, California, and I've never heard of this law before. You had suspicious activity, SAR, and it was you were taking a picture of something with no apparent aesthetic value. Does that make sense? Is that what you were?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a policy that started in Los Angeles,
right.
And it basically says there's a whole long litany of guidelines that they outlined for officers who are observing behavior to help them understand whether it's suspicious or not. And this policy, it's not a law, it's a policy, was adopted by a bunch of police departments around the country. And Long Beach is one of those cities that has, supposedly anyway, adopted this policy. And now, my particular circumstance, it's hard to know exactly if that was the policy, if the policy is what caused the officer to pull up and stop me. I believe, actually, that he got a call from the refinery that I was photographing.
The refinery.
But, you know, it was. I was there. I was taking pictures of railroad tracks. I was taking pictures of flowers. I was taking pictures of the refinery. I was, you know, I'm a photographer. That's what I do.
Well, what's funny is how tall are you?
I'm a little under 6 foot.
All right, about 5'11", balding, a really white guy. Did you have shorts on and kind of a checkered shirt when you were taking the shots? I mean, you look like if we were going to go to Central Casting and hire a tourist, from what you've sent me with the sandals and everything. Garrett, am I wrong? Christina, look at a picture of Sander, would you please, Christina? Does he not look like a tourist to you? A person?
Yes. It's the sandals, for sure.
Yeah, the sandals. It's almost like you would have had to dress up to look like a suspicious tourist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, and that's, you know, Southern California, that's the way I dress almost every day. So, you know, I don't think that, and that's the real question, too, is that, is there something intrinsically suspicious about a person taking a photograph? And, you know, a lot of...
Well, now, let's go to refinery for just a moment.
Sure.
I don't think Ansel Adams took any pictures of refineries. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure.
There's mountains, there's maybe a choo-choo train. Maybe you take a picture of that. But when you take a picture of a refinery, well, I will say, though, I'm from Louisiana originally, and at night the refineries look almost like space stations. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there is something to the intricacy of the piping and everything else. But you were taking yours in broad daylight.
Definitely. From a public place, from the sidewalk.
From the sidewalk. And you were just doing it as a, let's see what I get here. It's kind of interesting. And when you get it back, now do you still use the chemicals and all, or are you doing it strictly, electronically these days?
I'm primarily a digital photographer these days,
right.
But I've had many years in the darkroom as well.
So you're taking the pictures, and the cop pulls up behind you, and what does he say to you?
He just basically asks me what I'm doing and why, and I explain that to him. And we have a little bit of a conversation. He says, what do you do with your photographs, that kind of thing. And then he asks me for my identification. And this is the area where it gets a little dicey. My understanding of the Supreme Court ruling, which they call the Terry stop.
What?
My
the
understanding.
The what stop? What is it?
The Terry, Terry, Terry stop.
Terry. What does that mean? The Terry stop. What does that mean?
Basically, the Supreme Court ruled on a case, and the ruling basically said that police officers are perfectly within their rights to stop a person who's walking down the street and speak with them. But they have to have a belief, a reasonable suspicion that a crime has just taken place, is taking place, or is just about to take place in order to detain them. And so when this officer asked me for my identification, that is, in fact, detainment. So he detained me when he asked me for my ID.
Now, are you one of these guys that really looks for the police to make mistakes? Because you're taking a picture of a refinery. Someone complains, and the poor guy's just doing his job. I mean, was he rude to you, or was, most of the cops around here are pretty nice. He knew you were up to nothing, by the way, right?
Absolutely. I believe that in my heart, that he...
Yeah, I do too. I believe they called him, they said, look, go drive over there and see what's happening, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, but when he asked me for my ID, I asked him, am I obligated by law to comply? Mm-hmm. And he basically, at that point, he lied to me. He basically said, oh, well, since 9/11, police have broader authority to stop and identify any individual, that they feel like they need.
Well, that's kind of true.
Well, not according to the Supreme Court.
No, but he's a cop like I would be a cop. I don't really read all the whole thing they send me. You know what I mean? At my job, they send me. I can tell you, Sandra, you read everything. We get a lot of stuff here, and I look. It's one of these. I go, yeah, okay. Don't say anyone's last name.
The thing is,
off the. You know what I mean? It's like you sound like you have a lot of time on your hands.
No, not at all. I'm very.
Really?
Believe me, I never intended for this experience to quote unquote go viral as it has. This article that Gregory Moore wrote about the incident and about the police policy has just exploded all over.
Listen, I read the whole thing and I started laughing because when I saw your picture, I said, this was like profiling of a guy in shorts and sandals, and I'm in the same outfit. I have on short shorts, I have on some running shoes, and I have a Guinness T-shirt on. And if I go out and started taking pictures of an electrical substation, would they stop me? And what would I do if they did? That's exactly what I was thinking, And
I have no problem with the officer coming up and talking to me. Mm-hmm. But once he did that, he didn't really have any reasonable suspicion to ask me to identify myself. And in doing that, that's when he kind of crossed a line, which I believe was unconstitutional. I'm not a litigious person. I'm not going to be suing the city over this. But I started a conversation because that's what I do. I'm a journalist, too. And
you are? Who do you journal for?
I also write for LB Post.
What is that?
LB Post is a local Long Beach online column.
It's the hippie newspaper.
No. It's actually kind of legit. I cover arts and culture primarily.
Okay.
And, so...
Well, then so you show him did you show him your ID or you said no?
Oh, I did. I gave him my ID.
Okay. And then you wrote an article about it, and people found out about it, and I found out about it.
Well, actually, I didn't write the article. One of the other columnists wrote the article, and I didn't really think it was... I was upset by it, and especially after I started talking to people who knew a lot more about these things than I did, I began to understand better that, you know how it is. People are scared. People have these fears, of these anxieties. Some of them are reasonable, some of them aren't. But the thing is that the one thing that keeps us being in a civil society is the law. And if we're willing to sacrifice the law to make us feel a little bit better, then we're really undermining the very thing that makes us who we are.
Well, on a level, I agree with you, because if it happened to me, it would have pissed me off. But if I was driving down the street and I said, why is that cop over there? And they said, you see that nerdy guy with the camera? He's taking pictures of a refinery and they're questioning him. I would go, well, of course they are. Anybody who's weird enough to take pictures of a fucking refinery, stop him and question him. If it was me, though, I mean, does that make sense? I mean, I'm with you. I understand. I don't like it. I'll just tell you this right now. I'm a member of a country club, but I'm not they're not happy that I'm a member. And late in the afternoon, I like to go by myself late in the afternoon, and I walk in the country, but very late. A guy drives around in a cart, and he's always asking me for my membership card, right? And, you don't go to the country club you've been a member of for 15 years with your membership card. And he never recognizes me from week to week, which pisses me off even more, right? What was that noise I just heard?
Oh, that was my cell phone vibrating. I apologize.
Right. So what I'm saying is like when it happens to us, okay, but when people see the person getting questioned, we go, well, I'm glad he's, even it's a little bit overkill, it's good that he did it. So now where are we now? Are attorneys involved in this thing now?
No, not at all. I mean, okay. Like I said, I had no intention to be litigious in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, if you read the follow-up article that talks about the chief of police and his articulation about this policy, a lot of people criticized me for not filing a complaint with the police department. But that was never my intention. I didn't want to get anyone in trouble. I just felt like this was something that needed to be spoken about and discussed in the community so that we could all understand and sort of be on the same page.
But, Laura, let me ask you a question. A Arab guy with a headdress on gets out and he's taking a picture of the trains, the tracks, and the big giant, electrical facility. Would that not worry you a little bit?
Well, not at all, actually. I'll tell you why.
Really? You would just drive by and go, oh, look, there's an Arab guy taking a picture of the very same electrical facility for a refinery that I was taking a picture of last week. But you know what? I'm a journalist. I'm a photographer. I'm a poet. I'm a member of my glee club from high school. Hey, I wonder what he's up to. I mean, I'm sorry. Wonder what he's up to is my next thing. Okay?
Well, I'll tell you why. The reason why I wouldn't be worried is because any terrorist worth his salt would not go physically to that location.
That's not true. The guy tried to light his shoe in the airplane. The other one lit his testicles on fire. That's the truth. The underwear bomb guy, he lit his testicles on fire.
I'm talking about for surveillance sake. For surveillance sake, I wouldn't go to a location to photograph it. I would look it up on Google Street View. And if you go to Google Street View and look up the place where I was standing, you can actually see the refinery in some ways better than in the photographs that I took. Because
we ought to, you know what I think, and I mean this. I'm not a big internet lover. I think everyone at Google for that should be arrested. And I'm not joking even a little bit. The fact that they can see the detail of my home, the detail of the Kennedy Space Center, let's say, or of the Pentagon, or wherever they can figure it out to see it, or that refinery, they should go to jail.
But the law says that it's perfectly legal to take a picture from a public place. of anything that's within plain sight.
Right.
So these vehicles drive down the road with cameras mounted on them, and they're going snap, 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 snap. That's perfectly legal.
You wrote a poem in 1998 that if I didn't know, it foretold the attack on the World Trade Center. A poem you wrote called So Far Apart.
Okay.
Has anyone ever said that poem, 3 years before the attack, sounds like something about the attack? I swear to God, it's weird. If I was really investigating you and I was an attorney and I had you in court, believe it or not, I would bring this poem up. It's weird, isn't it?
Well,
you're surprised by it, but I'm able to twist things. But I'm also able to go, you know what? This guy's taking pictures. This poem is very suspicious. It is. It's like the movies you see, right?
Sure. And that's the thing.
Garrett, can I have some poem music, please? I want to read this poem.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Now, and Kristina?
Yes?
All right. Let's go to Ron of Ohio. Ron, I want you to listen to this poem. Put him on. Ron, get him on, too. Like, you know what I figure here? If I yell loud enough, Ron will hear me in Ohio. Ron, I want you to listen to the poem, okay?
All right.
All right, here we go. This was 3 years before 9/11. So far apart. I'll be looking at the moon, its pale face reflecting the sun, reminding me of all the tomorrows still unbegun. I'll be gazing at the stars whose flames, consumed in eons past, still light our rocky path into the vast, unbridled dawn. I'll glimpse the vague galactic plain whose misty edge we circumscribe, where love and life spring forth and die without completing a single turn. I'll be looking at the moon. Its cool caress can touch us both through time and space. Though time and space may intercede. But for one moment reason fails and distance fails. Time stands still. We're not so far apart after all. Kristina?
Yes?
Does that sound like it could foretell, if you were suspicious of someone, the attack on the World Trade Center?
Yes, it does.
Ron of Ohio.
Yes.
I'm not joking. If I was in court and we were suspicious of Sandra Wolf, who has been arrested for activities unbecoming a tourist, would you think that foretold an attack on 9/11?
Honestly, Jay, I thought the poem sucked. I'm not into poems. I just want to say this.
Yeah, me neither. It makes me uncomfortable, poetry.
Sander, do you hear what these people are saying, Sander? Do you hear this?
Absolutely. And the thing is that's one of the great things about poetry is that you can read into it and find out.
How do you feel when Ron said poetry sucks? Isn't that unbelievable? Yeah, I mean, come on.
I was listening to you read it, and I was thinking, God, it does kind of suck.
Really? You were thinking, wait a minute, that's because I'm such a bad poetry reader? And you know what Garrett, guess what I was thinking when I was reading it?
What? No, you did a beautiful job.
No, wait a minute. Garrett, what do you think I was thinking of my reading of the poem?
It was awesome.
I thought you did a good job.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It was awesome. Hold on one second. Hold on. Excuse me one second. What is it? No, you're not arresting me for reading a shitty poem. No. All right. I'm sorry. Somebody came in and tried to arrest me just now.
What I was going to say is that, as a poet, one of the jobs of a poet is to use words to get laid. Honestly.
All right. Sander, I like it. Ron of Ohio, you're thinking that Sander is just being overly dramatic? That's what you said?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Jay, he sounds like a sissy bitch. I mean, you know how many cops catch wanted guys by just checking a simple ID? And if he's got nothing to hide, then just hand over the ID. You put yourself in that cop's position. He risks his life every day. Who knows? You might have been an axe murderer and just killed the family down the street. He's just checking.
Okay. All right. Sander, what did he call you? What did you call a sissy bitch?
Well, I've been called a lot worse.
All right. Thank you, Ron of Ohio. Well, Sander, thanks for coming on the show. And, I have to tell you, on some level it is an interesting discussion. But on another level, I know how pissed off you get. I get, they took a picture of the wrong car recently. A car that I don't own, and they sent me a $175 ticket saying that I was driving this car. And what I think they did was, it was a day I'd rented a car, right? and they didn't even send the right picture of the car I rented. But I know I was probably caught by this camera, okay? And I was going to fight it, and I saw a loophole, and finally I went, fuck it. I sent the $175, right? And, let them fix a street with it or whatever. But there's that initial, you're pissed off that they're bothering you, When the guy asked you, there's that initial, you just don't want to be bugged, right?
Well, I think that, like I said, and at the time when I was standing there, I was scared because the Long Beach Police Department, although there are many excellent officers who serve the public in the city, the Long Beach Police Department in the last 6-8 months has had a rather notorious record of shootings and things like that. Isn't it?
Is it just a rumor, or I believe they invited Rodney King to visit Long Beach just so they could beat the shit out of him again? Did I read that wrong? Was that?
I haven't heard that.
Garrett, was that somehow? Was that on the? Did I read that wrong? They invited him there, and I'm sure that's a rumor, but yeah.
Yeah. But,
so you're saying that they have gone off the deep end a little bit there in Long Beach?
Yes, and I think a lot of people feel that way too. And a lot of my friends who are photographers, either for artistic reasons or just for their work, they've shared similar stories with me, and even worse ones, where their cameras were seized and they were.
Oh, did they take your camera? I didn't ask you that. Did they take it?
No, he did not. He did not, and I give him credit for that.
Did you take a picture of him? Did you take a picture of the officer?
No, I did not. I did not.
Okay. Right.
But,
by the way, where can we see the offending pictures? Where are they?
They're up on my blog right now, sanderiz.com.
Sanderiz.com. We can see them.
I went there, and all the photography pages were 404 error.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. Well,
I thought maybe you took them down because you had to because of the police or something. I didn't.
You think they're blocking your page?
I hope not. That would really.
Would it be under the photography section?
Good guess.
Let me look right now because I'm sitting right here.
Oh man, look at Sander. I got a picture of you sitting. You got a guitar and a bunch of electronic equipment. You look like a guy who would fill an electric guitar with dynamite. What's all that at your feet? What is all that?
I'm an experimental musician, but
wow, that's very suspicious looking. All that. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I mean, like I said,
Sander, we'll check on the pictures. Sanderiz.com. We'd like to see them. Get them up there and tell us when they're going to be back. Okay?
They're there now.
Okay, good. Thank you. Sanderiz.com. Sander Wolf was arrested, and the police chief of Long Beach said that he was taking pictures with no apparent aesthetic value. All right? And that's their policy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Okay,
buddy. To talk with you.
Okay, bye-bye. Not a bad guy, But, arrested for the silliest thing.
Or detained.
Oh, he was a detained, that's right.
I don't even know what that means.
I thought I was reading my ass off, too. I thought people were going, wow, that's a great point. Dear Jay, this is at jthomas.com. Johann Dick. I can't say the last name, so you'll have to decide what the last names are.
Penis.
I'm a developer of a tool that facilitates fantasy leagues management called Pick 'em First. I have a video showing how it works. I'd be delighted if you would give it a spin. I'll give you 10 free upgrades to the pro version. I don't think I'm going to use it, but everyone listening, please go to pickemfirst.com and use my promo code JThomasFree. You can have them.
Oh, boy.
What do you mean, oh, boy?
Well, you get
what?
300,000 hits to your website every month.
Yeah.
You just gave 300,000 people a free fantasy.
J. Thomas free? Hey, man, you send something to me, Dear Jay, this comes from Slut Spurt. In regards to the Ground Zero Mosque, it's not across the street from Ground Zero. We had the guy on Friday morning at Howard 101, the hard hat guy.
Yeah.
He's all upset. He's got a fund. They're still threatening to build this mosque. It's 2 blocks away. It's about 1/10 of a mile. You can't even see it. You don't even know it's there. It's further still from where the Twin Towers stood. It's a couple of blocks away.
Yeah, it's like 2 blocks, I believe.
As for the hijackers wanting to learn how to fly but not land, the FBI director said in 2001 the reports were wrong. Zacharias Moussaoui, the guy that was arrested, a female FBI agent, found this guy suspicious, and he had already been arrested before 9/11. She tried to warn the FBI in Washington. She's left the FBI, I might add, and she left it very soon afterward. And she had him arrested. He said he told the instructors he wanted to learn how to take off and land, but not fly the plane. And the guy that he was paying money to, and it was like, you're talking $50,000, he called the FBI. And the FBI agent checked this guy out, had his ass arrested. He's in jail, isn't he? Still in jail? Wanted to take off and land, but not fly the plane. They ought to get every one of these guys that taught these sons of bitches how to take off and land and not fly. Are you kidding? That's the first line of fucking defense. And they let and these guys were slimy sons of bitches, too. They weren't like clean-cut, college-looking kids. They were slimy. Unbelievable.
But don't you think it's normal? Like, you just want to learn how to fly? You don't care about taking off and landing? I would just want to, learn how to fly. I'm never going to fly a plane, so I don't need to land or take off, but it'd be cool to fly.
You're gonna spend $50,000 when you look. You can go for, let's say, 10,000 soup to nuts, ground school, everything else. Learn how to fly a plane. Like a single engine plane, right? It'll take you a year or two, right? $10,000. That's it. When you want to fly a jet, a 747, 737, you're talking $50,000. 2 or 3 years of constant instruction. I mean, it's a ton of money. And it's a huge commitment. And you go in and you go, well, I just want to learn how to take off and land. I don't want to learn how to fly it.
Oh, I got you.
Come on. Some of them just wanted to learn how to take off. Or I guess they needed to learn how to land to bring it down, how to bring it down slowly. I would be suspicious of Sander Wolf if that's what he wanted to do.
Wolf in sheep's clothing, I say.
That's right. That name alone. This comes from Mike Softer. You'll never get what his last name is. Jay, you seem to be against weapons, even though you say your son is a master gunsmith. He is a master gunsmith. What do you think of having an assault weapon in your home to stop intruders? What do I think of that? I think when you go in to buy an assault weapon to stop unless you're going to have 600 intruders per minute, that's what it shoots. It shoots 600 to 1,000 bullets a minute. If you're planning on a fucking, you're planning on a major frontal assault by, like a horde of people, then okay, you can have your assault weapon. What I think we ought to all have is you ought to be able to get, those guns with the big kind of a trumpet-looking front on it, Garrett, the big, like the Pilgrims used,
Musketoon, I think.
Yeah, big Musketoon. That's what I think. You can have that.
You shove like forks and knives in there and just shoot whatever you can out. Yeah. I'm a big scaredy cat too, and so I have these lights that if you go near them, the lights turn on, right? But when you're not near them, they're kind of dim, these kind of security lights. And I live literally in a bunker. I live in a home surrounded by a 2-foot thick, 12-foot wall.
My house is completely fucking surrounded. And at night, I keep an eye. I inspect the doors every 2 or 3 in the morning. I inspect the windows. I'm one of those. And I have a shotgun in the closet, and I have various different kind of bullets my son made for me as shells to, to wound them or whatever the thing is. What I'd really like to have is just a string with some cans on it. And it would be strategically placed, and I would hook it up every night. Let's say you go to bed at midnight. I would string it across the yard in a very dark area. And if ever I heard the cans clank or the bells go off, I would just aim in the direction of that sound, and that's what I'd like to do. Now, if it's a cat or a dog or whatever, I'm going to be aiming high enough to where, it wouldn't kill it. But that's what my wife will not allow me to have that system in our yard. And the other thing I'd like to have is broken glass on the top of the wall. Those are my 2 favorite things to stop intruders.
The top of the wall?
Yeah, and they do it in New Orleans too. You break bottles and you glue them to the top of the security wall.
Oh, I got you.
But cats get all cut up and birds land and, die. So it's bad. But those are the 2 things that I would love to have around my house.
What about a moat?
No, I'm not. Then you got to take care of the moat. It's going to smell. There's mosquitoes.
That's true. Yeah, it's stagnant.
Yeah. This comes from Larry Spain. Larry Spain. That might be his real name, okay? Because no one would believe that name, okay? It seems like you believe in survival of the fittest. How do you think it's a crazy question. How do you think you would have fared if you were a caveman? Well, you know what's funny? If I was a caveman, I think when the saber-toothed tigers came, or those big woolly mammoths, these big animals came, I would be the guy that say, hey, look, let's not fight this thing. Why don't we just go back to the cave and paint its image on the wall? That's what I would have done. That had to be the chicken shits who did that, I would have been cheering, Larry, Curly, and Moe for beating the piss out of the woolly mammoth and all that, and I would have thrown a rock at it or whatever. And then after the incredible victory against this horrifying beast, and we were eating its flesh, I would have made a big deal out of painting its picture on the wall. I would no more have faced the animal than the man in the moon, okay? I would have had assholes like LaDainian Tomlinson, okay? And idiots that want to, charge things. I would have been congratulating them and patting and making dinners for them and giving them tributes and everything else. And what's funny is I would have eventually been the leader of the group. You notice the king, he fights a little bit, right? But then once there's no more fighting, the king never leads the troops, okay? I might have said I fought other places or whatever. I don't know how I would have done it. But no. Would I have been charging the animal? No. No. What would you do today, Jay? This comes from Gregory Gregor. If they asked you what I did this past summer, if you were a kid in school. Remember those questions, Garrett?
Oh, God, yeah.
Kristina, did you ever have to write what I did?
Yep.
If I was a kid today, and let's say they asked me that, knowing that I'm a smartass, right? I would say, well, anyone following me on Twitter already knows what I did this past summer. That's what I would say. Right? I mean, that's a good one. If I was a kid now, I'd be into the Twitter and the Facebook and the whole fucking deal. And of course, I would immediately be punished. But I loved writing those. I mean, I wrote, oh my God, I couldn't, any chance that I ever had in my life to tell you a story about myself or write things. Oh, my God, I couldn't wait. Eric of Mississippi, the Jay Thomas Show, 888-4-102-102. Hello, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing well for a Monday. How about yourself?
We're good.
You know, Garrett's been earning that extra $25 you pay him lately, but I got to wonder about a guy that he's going to take flying lessons, but he only wants to fly the plane. I want to learn how to land the plane because no pilot says, oh, I just need a break. You want to fly this thing a while? It's always, is there anybody on board that knows anything about landing jets?
That's the truth. You know, my brother and my dad, my brother still is alive, but they were both pilots. And when we would fly places, you know, twin engine planes and all, we had planes. And they would let me fly the plane. You're right. And I could fly in a straight line. But when it was time to land it, give me that plane, give me the plane, you know. What I don't get about flying is the wind is going in one direction and the wind's blowing in your face. And I wouldn't try and be a pilot for 1 minute. I mean, by the way, all of those clocks on the dashboard and not one of them has the right time. You ever notice that? I mean, I wouldn't even know what. The only thing I remember in the movies is when the plane was crashing, the altimeter would always be going really fast.
Spinning, yeah.
Oh!
Did you hear that pilots, they're saying that they're losing their ability to fly faster because it's so automated now that they never have to do it?
One night we landed in New Orleans really late, and I went out with the pilots and some flight attendants from Southwest, and we go downtown, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's one of the guys was saying it's not as much fun anymore because it's automatic now. You know, you press a couple of buttons, the damn thing takes off, and the damn thing lands.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Mythbusters did myth. If the pilot dies, could just some random person land a plane?
Sure.
And, they both did it by being talked to from the tower, but then they said, or you could have just hit this button and the plane would land itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Jay.
Wouldn't that be nice if somebody said, hey, I want to get laid, and you just both pressed the button, and you just stood there with your arms down at your side, and your body just made all the moves and did everything you know what I mean?
Your landing gear came out.
No, but it didn't do anything too fast or too slow or whatever. You just programmed each other, and y'all just stood there, you just, and your hands, bring me in, Bill, bring me in,
I used to have something like that, but then I married her.
Oh. All right, Eric, thank you. Jeff, Pennsylvania. Hello, Jeff. Jay Thomas. Yes, sir.
Hi, Jay.
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I was reading, actually, the National Enquirer, and there's a big, long article on there about how Chaz used to date one of Cher's best friends who was actually the babysitter.
You mean a girl?
Yeah, it was a female. How long was it? A 7-year relationship with her?
Right. Hey, look, the jury is out on the sexuality of that family. Not just Chaz. The jury is out. Enough said, okay? Okay? Jury is out. On that same subject, there is a television show now that's being produced, and of course, Ellen DeGeneres' wife is sick of just being a housewife. So Ellen DeGeneres' wife, Portia DeGeneres,
they're still married?
Oh God, yes. And she's doing a TV show. She was quite a good actress, by the way, Portia de Rossi. Yeah. But she's been taking care of Ellen.
Taking
Ellen's
care of her?
Yeah, Ellen's tense. She's at work. Oh. Christina, good wife, right?
Yeah.
Husband comes home, right? You married the right guy. Wouldn't you be waiting for him when he came home?
That's right.
Yeah.
Everything
don't need
open
to work
for business.
Yeah, that's right. Unlike some pilots that never end up airing, Ellen's production company has a contract in place that guarantees that the project will make the cut, or NBC has to pay a costly penalty to her production company, which is AVGP. AVGP. Let's go around the horn, please. What does AVGP mean? The name of Ellen DeGeneres' production company. Let's go to Bill of Buffalo. Bill of Buffalo. He hung up. Don't be frightened. You don't be afraid. Who's on line one? Just put him on. Hello. Who is this? Hello. What's your name? Yeah.
This is Fish up in Wisconsin.
Hey, Fish. What is Ellen DeGeneres' production company? AVGP. What do you think that means? Those initials.
A very good pussy. How about
you know
that?
What? You sure did. You got it.
What did I win?
Nothing. Hey, get rid of him. That's what he wins. A Very Good Production is the name of the company. A Very Good Production. The storyline features DeRossi as one of two sisters who are at odds with each other. Ellen will be the executive producer. Okay? And Don Todd, who produced a show called Samantha Who. Samantha Who? What was that? Wasn't that with
Christina Applegate, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a failure. Don Todd will write the script. What a joke.
So it's a sitcom?
Yep. It's about two sisters.
And if it doesn't get put on air, she gets money.
Tons.
Why would they sign that deal?
I don't know. You know, you can say what you want, and they can say that it's because Portia de Rossi is a good actress, and that Ellen is famous and all that, and that people, women especially, will want to watch it. It's got to be because they go, hey, I mean, in the back of their minds, the decision is this. They're the freakiest couple next to Chaz Bono in the United States in the world of entertainment. She's like this famous talk show host that's being followed, especially in states that don't believe in gayness or gay marriage or anything. Okay? Middle America loves Ellen. Okay? And so let's put the freak's wife on TV. That's what it is. It's a freak show, and people will watch it in the beginning. It's a freak show. They can say what they want to say about Glee. Glee is the gayest show on television. It's smash. American, was it Family, whatever that is? What's that show?
Modern Family.
Modern Family. It's about gays. No.
It's not about gays. It's about
those
a modern
gay guys.
family.
About those two gay guys. Okay?
It's not about the two
you're
gay
watching
guys. Everybody gets the same amount of exposure on the show.
But no one gives a shit except about the two gay guys.
Everybody gives a shit about Sofia Vergara.
I watch that show, and when the two gay guys are talking, I watch it, and when Ed O'Neill starts talking, I turn it over to longest co-joined.
No, you don't.
Longest co-joined Siamese twins.
No.
We'll be right back. In a little while, we'll be going to Bennington, Vermont, to Mount Anthony Union High School, where the principal has put a stop to what he calls a pajama party. Unbelievable. This isn't about the pants being around their asses. They go to school wearing pajamas.
And slippers.
You see it all over the place when you go to the convenience store or something.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're against this?
They're made for bed. You want to wear something like that, wear sweatpants. Don't wear pajamas with clouds and moons on them in public with fuzzy slippers.
You know what?
Because
you know what it's like?
That's nighttime clothes. That should be between you and your
Thank you.
sheets.
It's like the guys in Libya, the freedom fighters, with the flip-flops on. You cannot fight a war with flip-flops on.
What if I wore a limp, pointy hat?
What is that?
Like a little sleepy hat. Is that fine?
Nobody wears those anymore. That's outdated.
Horrible.
What's the pants are pants as long as
No,
you're
they're
covered
not
up.
just pants. They're meant for sleeping, and you should be inside because then they're going to crawl back into their bed after all the shit.
They're
That's
not going to
outside.
wake up. That's exactly right.
Disgusting.
That's right. And they've got the slip.
No.
By the way, you want to hear something
they're
else?
sleeping in their own filth.
Hold it. Safety hazard. Those pajamas are flammable.
That's right.
And when they go at 420 to light a joint, they can catch on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're also banning cleavage being shown. Are you
I'm
against
out
that?
of control
See?
today. Are you noticing? I know.
No,
I can't help it. I
never
keep
noticed.
trying to adjust.
See, so what if they said no? What if someone said, I don't want you going to the store with your cleavage out?
Turtlenecks it is.
This comes from Robert Yesland. You think he guessed his last name? Y-E-S-L-A-N. Robert Yesland. Jay, have you noticed anything different in California now that Arnold Schwarzenegger is not the governor? Not a fucking thing. You don't notice anything here. Nothing. He was a waste of time. The guy before him, they recalled the guy before him, and they blamed the brownouts on him. His name was Gray Davis. He was a Vietnam veteran, but no one liked him. And even the people that lived we don't have a governor's mansion. It's kind of a small house, believe it or not, in a neighborhood in Sacramento. His neighbors said a lot of them didn't vote for him to stop the recall. He never waved at anyone. He just wasn't a likable guy. They got rid of him. And then they found out that Enron had done all those horrible things to cause the brownouts, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he got in, we were $50 billion in debt. He borrowed $50 billion. We're now $100 billion in debt. Cool. After 6 years, whatever. The new governor was the governor before Brown. The only thing we got out of Arnold Schwarzenegger is an 11th commandment. The newest commandment, Garrett.
Which is?
Thou shalt not share thy rod with thy staff. Wait a minute. I have a message here from Kristina Dumbo. Kristina Dumbo. I don't know who that could be. Kristina Dumbo. Subject, hair. Can she hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was on the phone. Hi.
I got an email from Kristina Dumbo.
Is it about her new mom haircut?
You will be happy to know that I cut 10 inches off my hair and donated 2 braids.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Why would I be happy with that?
Because out of nowhere, out of the clear blue sky, I'll be talking to you on the phone about the show or something that I need to pull or whatever, and then you'll come out of nowhere and say, you really got to cut your hair. It's driving me crazy.
Oh,
and then I told
it flaps in your eyes.
And then I told you, well, Jay, it's a 3-year project. I'm doing it for Locks of Love. I'm going to send it to the cancer people. I'll send the cancer people money. That's what you say to me every time.
Really?
So I'd like you off my back now because not only have I cut my hair, but I did a good thing.
Locks of Love?
Yeah.
So
2 braids.
You mean someone's going to have that shitty hair?
Shitty hair. It's never been dyed. It's the most healthy hair that there ever was.
Garrett.
Thank you.
Not only do I have cancer, I have shitty hair. You know.
They can roll it up and smoke it and get high.
When we come back, I will read you the most ridiculous email I have ever in my life received. Wow. This comes from Mike Jimenez. You'll never guess these names, will you? Thank God you don't let Shuli and Ira use those megaphones anymore. Were you the one that thought that was funny? Yes, I did. I still think it's funny. In fact, I'm writing a movie right now where this guy's house he's under attack, and they yell out, "Come out with your hands up. You're surrounded by men with megaphones." All right? I find them very funny. There you go. All right. Hello, Philip. It's Jay Thomas. How are you? Philip of Virginia.
Pretty
yes, sir.
Great show. You're really on fire today.
I'm on. Hold on, Philip. Hold on, I'm going to bring you back in a moment.
I was born and raised down in Alabama on a farm way back up in the woods.
I love
so
this
ragged that folks
one of my
used to call me
favorites.
Patches.
Patches.
Mama used to tease me about it. Of course, deep down inside, he was hurt because he'd done all he could. My papa was a great old man. I can see him with a shovel in his hand. See, education he never had. He did wonders when the times got bad. The little money from the crops he raised barely pays the bills we made. Oh, life had kicked him down to the ground. When he tried to get up, life would beat him back down. One day, Papa called me to his dying bed, put his hands on my shoulder, then in tears he said, Patches.
Now, I played this song when I was first getting in radio. I mean, and at a radio station, you have no idea how a song like this became a hit record. It had to be payola. I mean, I have no idea.
It's so catchy.
Turn it.
I became a man that day.
What?
So I told Mama I was going to quit school, but she said that was Daddy's strictest rule.
Right.
So every morning before I went to school,
and he sounds like he's about to cry. Who's singing this?
Clarence Carter.
Clarence Carter was actually a great singer. Unbelievable. Patches. Who writes this song? You know? Who produces it and goes, we got us a hit. We got a hit in our hands.
Then one day a strong rain came and washed all the crops away.
Oh, no.
And at the age of 13, I thought I was carrying the weight of the whole world on my shoulders.
Well, you were your big fat mama.
Mama knew what I was going through.
Yeah, of course she did.
Every day I had to work the fields. Only way we got our meals, see. I was the oldest of the family.
Hey, Ben, what rhymes with fields? Meals? That's good, meals. Yeah.
Every night I heard my mama pray, Lord, give him strength to make another day. Though years have passed and all the kids.
Is this on Amos and Andy Records? What is this on?
Lord knows people, I shedded tears, but my
now wait,
the
daddy's dead and the farm got washed away. I can't. What's the next horrible thing that happens to him?
Apparently nothing, because there's like 20 seconds left.
So that's it? It's just shit? His life shit? That's it? There's no resolution to the song? Oh, my God.
Maybe there's a part 2.
I hope so. I wish we had B-sides. Oh, my God. So his life sucks. He lives in a shack. He has no shoes. His father dies. Rain comes, takes away the crops, washes everything away. Oh, my God. Philip, I'm sorry. Philip of Virginia, we were speaking to you before we went away. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Philip.
I was just going to take you back to when you were talking about some of those television shows and stuff. You know, always interested in your opinions and kind of find it fascinating.
Well, of course, I'm on the inside. I'm on the inside. I haven't been on the inside of Hollywood since Roger Ebert lost his chin or whatever the fuck he lost. I don't know. When you see Roger Ebert, you know what? And this is a good advice. If you're about to lose most of your face, make sure when they sew you in that frozen position, you look just like the Riddler. You look just like the fucking Riddler. That's what he looks like. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking on the Charlie Sheen show. You know, that's his. That show's all him. I don't think there's anything they can do to bring it back once he's off of it. I mean, they almost should have just renamed it.
Well, Ashton Kutcher is such a little pussy. First of all, he married a woman old enough to be his mother. Now, Demi Moore is not just fine, but I would imagine someone that if you really have to fucking deal with. I'm sure that she is. I mean, not not a day at the fucking beach. So a woman that's really strong and much older and beautiful and everything else, she does one of two things. She marries a guy like Bruce Willis, or forget Bruce Willis. She marries a real man, and they battle it out and they figure it all out. Or she marries a fucking child. She marries a little boy who I'm sure they had sex in the beginning and all that. That's long over. And now they're just married. And when they show him taking those pictures, you know, he's a spokesman for some camera company.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like the guy that took the pictures of the football team, and we would always try and throw passes out of bounds so we could run over him.
Well,
that's all we did. As soon as we went up a couple of touchdowns, hey man, throw me one down out and deep, because I'm going to run over Mike, the guy with the camera, you know. And we always see if we can get him taking a picture of us as we launched into him, you know. Yeah. 2.5 Men will never be the same. They should have had the little kid, the son, become a drug addict and an alcoholic and everything else. He should have become his uncle. So they should have had Charlie Sheen die, and the little boy becomes...
Get all his money, yeah.
He becomes Charlie Sheen. He's bad. He's smoking dope. He's chasing women. I mean, because that little fat kid, thank God he's rich. Because you'll never see him in anything again. No. And, you know, you just hope his parents haven't fucked him too badly. That's all you can do.
Or after the funeral, Alan comes back into the house, bereaved, upset.
Yeah.
He's already met Ashton Kutcher, his neighbor or whatever he's going to play. But he just can't believe, where am I going to live now? I've lost my brother. And he starts to get a smile like, well, this may not be so bad. My brother's gone. He walks into the kitchen, and there's Ashton Kutcher. And there's Charlie Sheen. And Ashton Kutcher goes, you've just been punked. And Charlie Sheen looks at the camera and goes, winning. And then he's just on the show for the rest.
You know what? That is such a brilliant idea. The sad thing is the egos are so fucking huge. And Charlie Sheen, by the way, and I don't know this to be true, because I know a guy that's one of the head writers there, and this is all he said to me. This guy came to work, did his lines, and he has no reason to bullshit me. He didn't say it was hard to work there. He said that they would read all the shit he was doing off, you know, the air, and then he would show up and go to work. And so that's all I ever heard about Charlie Sheen, right?
Well, that's one of the reasons why he didn't get vilified by America when he did. You know, people were going, wait a minute, we're not surprised that he's acting like this. This is who he portrayed, who you guys portrayed.
Yeah, but you know what else? I worked with Robin Williams on Mork and Mindy when he was doing Full On Blow, and he would be 2-3 hours late to work. We would be waiting to shoot the show. Same thing with. It's so funny to me that who's Frazier? What the fuck's his name? You know,
Kelsey Grammer.
I call him Frazier. I call Robin Williams Mork. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer's a big Republican. Yeah. He's going to run for office. He's playing a mayor now. Run for office. He married nothing but fucking strippers. Okay, yeah. And he's a big Republican. He was the same thing. Waiting 2 hours. You know, what's he doing? You know, somebody have to go fucking get him or whatever. You know, that's the only problem when you're working with people that have whatever secret situations they have away from the set. It crimps your style. But if they come to work and they do their job and then you read that they're fucking drunks and heroin addicts at night, who gives a shit? I don't. No one cares. So if Charlie really did his show, and then the head of it, the producer, he had Charlie Sheen, he had Roseanne, and he had Sybil Shepherd. Those were the three big shows he had. This guy is a glutton for fucking punishment.
He should be used to it, man.
Of course. You know, I did the Sybil Shepherd show.
Man. You take care. I gotta go.
Thank you. I did the Sybil Shepherd show. I played myself, and in it, she's supposed to, off camera, hit me in the head with a bedpan. When they brought me out, I was knocked out. Do you know that when the cameras went down, they actually thought I was really knocked out and maybe she truly hit me? I'll never forget it.
That's
and
acting.
I said, that's what the guy said. That's acting. You know, Gerard Butler, who was in the 300, okay? He did these shitty comedies. They tried to get him to be, you know, do some little comedies, right? And he announced that it almost ruined his career. So now he's back with a movie called Machine Gun Preacher. And I don't know what it did over the weekend or if it's making money. I have no idea. But this is a full-page article on the front page of the Los Angeles Times. I mean, this is worth, millions of dollars to an actor. Gerard Butler is crying. I'm sitting with him at a Los Feliz eatery. He's just gotten off of his Harley, adorned in a black T-shirt, green army pants, and his helmet tucked close to his newly trimmed body. And he starts crying. I become overcome with emotions. I haven't talked much about my new movie. And then the other day, I just started crying. And I cried for 5 minutes. This time, Butler's crying jag lasts a good 10 minutes. Can you believe this? This fucking guy is in a restaurant talking to a writer from the Los Angeles Times. You know how long 2 minutes is to cry? Start a clock right now. Okay?
All right, well, hold on.
Ready? Just give me a go.
I think I have a click.
Just give me a go.
Okay,
just
go.
No. Oh, God. God. When I began...
30 seconds.
That's how long I've been crying? 30 seconds? Anyway, oh, God, I don't know.
One minute.
My God, I can't do it. I can't do it. Are you fucking kidding?
It just gets silly after the 30-second mark.
He plays a preacher who went to the Sudan and started an orphanage, and he had a machine gun. Oh, come on.
Can't wait to see that.
Fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot. The same people that would go see Janet Jackson in concert would go see that fucking movie. Okay? Who the fuck goes to see Janet fucking Jackson? The same people who see that movie will go see Brad Pitt in something called Moneyball. Did you read that book, Garrett? Moneyball?
I did not. I know about it, but...
It's about the manager of the Oakland Athletics who did some weird thing with free agency or something, and they're acting like it's about some scientist.
Yeah, and he never won... I don't even think he won a playoff series. They made it to the playoffs a few years, but definitely not a World Series.
It's like when they do a golf movie, when they had Matt Damon played this golfer once, and the main thing that you do, really good golfers, their left arm stays so still, and it really does. It curls around their body. I mean, you've seen Tiger. Forget it. Any great golfer. Their left arm stays completely still. Their body, their head, it's hard to imagine. And then when they come back down, they swing in perfect rhythm underneath a completely still chin. First thing Matt Damon did in this so-called golf movie when he was a champion, Garrett, he bent his left arm. He looked like every fucking 40 handicap guy you see at some city fucking course on the weekend. Right? Horrible. Horrible. They got Brad Pitt, who looks like he throws like a girl, and he's playing the guy as Johnny fucking Handsome in the manager's office. Moneyball. $75 million. For what?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of big in the 90s, Moneyball, but I don't know why they decided to make it now.
It's ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. You know. You have the Housewives about the dead husband. They pulled like 9 million people.
No.
The Beverly Hills Housewives, just because the guy's dead. They pulled a huge number.
That's what the Jersey Shore premiere did, and that was supposed to be a huge number.
Yeah. Or maybe it was 7 million, but it was a lot.
Wow.
Unbelievable. You know what's amazing about the Jersey Shore people? And Christina, they missed a bet here. When the hurricane came in and flooded and everything else, the Jersey Shore people didn't do anything charitable. Nothing. They didn't help anybody.
That's a shame.
Well, weird. It's like everyone makes fun of them anyway, right? And says how horrible. And so, but they're a big show. So certainly do something, for people that really fucking suffered. And they really had flooding and devastation on the Jersey Shore. They did absolutely nothing.
I can't believe not even Pauly D would help.
Not that have you read anything?
No, I haven't. But he's, the most sincere one.
They did nothing.
Vinny is.
No, Paulie's better. I've decided.
Oh, okay.
They should. You know what Snooki looks like? Snooki looks like a buoy. You know the buoys that float in the channels?
Have you seen her recently, though?
She lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, she hits the gym.
But she's still 2 feet tall.
That is correct.
And
Chilean or something.
She's a Chilean?
She's adorable.
Right?
Yeah, something funky.
Yeah.
She's adopted.
Well, trust me, she ain't going to be adorable forever. Let's go to Mike of Michigan. Hello, Mike. It's Jay Thomas. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jay, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Got a question for you. First of all, Snooki looks like she smells like pee. Do you agree?
No, you know what? I don't like the dark skin, dark hair, squat, stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a turn on to me. And I don't even like to see them talking. They're so stupid. I don't know that but she looks like she smells of bad perfume. I know that.
I don't know. She just got that look. I don't know. I think she's gross. But hey, dig this, Jay. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed your acting. I think you're a great actor, good character actor, and you're strong. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Out of all the things that you've been involved with, what's your favorite? What has always been your favorite project that you've ever done?
The most fun I had was my own show. It was called Love and War because I was the star of the show and I pushed everybody around.
What about this?
No, he's talking about acting.
Oh, because you're the star of this show.
Acting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I liked when I did because you come to work and they didn't start until you were ready. That kind of shit. I loved all that.
I got you. And then I got another quick question for you.
I love all that. You walk in and they literally have to wait for you. I like that. I did. That was fun.
Did you have a bowl of just blue M&Ms?
No, you know what? I had non-fat food put on the set. Non-fat. But I didn't realize that sugar was non-fat. And I told you I gained 15 pounds eating non-fat.
You weren't a man diva, were you?
No, I wasn't actually bad at all. I think I was okay, actually. We were all okay. Nobody was okay. But it was fun. Yeah, that was fun. And you got to say, well, I don't want to say that, or I think I would do this, or whatever. When you're supporting, keep your mouth shut. I just kept my mouth shut for years. I learned how to be a star by watching others. That's right. What else, Mike?
Just real quick, not to bring up bad memories for you.
Yeah.
But Darva Conger, whatever happened to her? Do you know? Did you ever keep up on
She
that?
actually became a nurse. I live in Santa Barbara. Her sister is one of the biggest realtors in Santa Barbara. She moved here after all of that, and she became a nurse. It's a very small town. At a hospital here. And I'm pretty sure she's still a nurse. I think she's a nurse in Santa Monica. So she just went to nursing. Yeah, that was really weird. That was the woman from Who Wants to Marry a Multimillionaire who married the guy and then said she didn't want to marry him and all that. And then I said that she was trying to win the contest. And then CBS had us. I mean, that thing dragged on for 2 years, she was just a nurse. I mean, like kind of a blonde, good looking, kind of a surfer nurse girl. That's what she was. And I think she's probably married with a couple of kids. I don't know.
Yeah, me and my sisters were talking about that show the other night. I told him, like, well, I'll try to get on the Jay Thomas show and ask him about it, see what she's been up to. You probably know.
Look,
so
Heidi Montag, whatever her name is, they just declared bankruptcy. They went through, she and this husband of hers, who'd she marry?
Hank Baskett?
No,
Heidi.
Spencer Pratt.
Oh.
They declared bankruptcy. They went through $2 million in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, because they used to buy crystals and weird shit like that. They were
gone.
Crystals.
Yeah, that money's gone.
Stupid.
And they declared bankruptcy. They owe like $500,000. They paid their taxes and whatever it was. And they're living in like a 1-bedroom apartment, like or living with their mother or something. I mean, that's it for these people. There's nothing there. The only thing she could do to make money is make pornos. That's it.
That's what she should be doing, because look at her body.
They're fools. And Darva Conger didn't make any money and ended up going back to nursing. And, the sad thing is you got a guy like me, I know what to do, and I just rode that fucking horse for everything it was worth, Yeah. You just leave them. Human debris. If I wrote a biography of myself, it would be called Human Debris. It's like when you look when you look behind a boat, the wake of the boat, you just see people's hands going up. Help! Help! I just keep going. Wives, children, guest stars, whatever. And the sad thing is that my boat ran out of fuel, and I've been paddling to shore ever since. I'm kind of like a nouveau has-been. My new thing. Eddie Murphy is going to host the Academy Awards. And the guy that's producing his newest movie called Tower Heist with Ben Stiller and some other, recognized. By the way, way to make a comedy with the word tower in it right after we do the sadness of the blowing up of the Twin Towers. Okay? It looks awful.
Who decides on who gets to host these things?
Well, the producer is a guy named Ratner, and he happens to be the producer of the new Eddie Murphy movie.
Oh.
Isn't that something? Now, the weird thing about Eddie Murphy is if he isn't yesterday's fucking news, who knows? But the last time he was at the Academy Awards, he was nominated for Dreamgirls. And when he didn't win, he stormed out. He made a scene. He got his girlfriend, wife, whatever, and he stormed out. Hard to tell which was which, so they were both wearing dresses. And he stormed out. And so Jennifer Hudson won the Academy Award. He didn't even stay to support a woman that many people, thought was going to win.
He also didn't stay to support his baby mama, Mel Scary Spice B. Remember that? He left the kid alone. So he's off the list.
Yeah. So why they don't have Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, these guys, do comedies, make money. They do dramas every now and again. They produce movies. I mean, they're very active in the community. They're young. People want to see them, I don't know. I don't know why they don't. It's unless they don't want to do it, or let Billy Crystal do it as many times as he wants to, and then but I would pick Will Ferrell. He'd be great. They're so afraid that they're going to curse or... So what? Just let them do it. I mean, the fact that somebody might curse or say fuck or whatever, who cares? They're not going to cancel the Academy Awards. What, the advertisers aren't going to come back the next year? If you had full frontal nudity at the Super Bowl doesn't get canceled. The FCC could fine every one of Janet Jackson's tits $1 million. I don't know how many tits she's got.
3.
She's probably got a bunch of them at the house, I'm sure, that she, puts on. But, and the movie that's Ben Stiller, the woman that was in Precious,
I noticed
black woman.
Gabourey Sidibe.
Right.
Ugh.
Her name's as long as her big as her ass is wide.
Casey Affleck.
Casey Affleck. That's right. Yeah, I mean it's awful.
Tia Leone.
Yeah, awful.
I like her.
Judd Hirsch.
Awful. Piece of shit. And and now he's gonna do the thing. By the way, I read the other day that Spy Kids is in 4D.
Yeah.
There's 2D, which is normal. There's 3D, which the thing comes at you. I don't even have a joke for 4D. What the fuck is... Let me just guess. I don't know what it is. All right. 2D is normal. 3D, the things come at you. 4D, if someone farts in the movie, you can smell it.
It's sort of close.
It's close?
Yeah.
What is 4D?
I believe there's like a scratch and sniff. And
in the movie theater?
Yeah, and they cue you to what number to scratch or something, and you smell that at the time of the movie, I think.
They hand you something?
Yes.
I can't believe I was close.
Didn't Hustler once have a scratch and sniff centerfold?
What? What do you smell?
Everything has had a scratch. Oh, you smell...
Does it smell like vagina?
It smells like pennies.
You know what you need to do? You need to go... this magazine, Men's Health? There is an ad in it, and it runs all the time. It's called Balls Fresh or Fresh Balls.
Fresh Balls. We have that ad here, too.
And they show these two women pointing to kind of a overweight guy's... He's dressed, but they're pointing to his crotch. I've never seen that before, but it's something you rub in your balls so they don't smell?
Yeah, it's like...
What does that smell like?
I don't know what it smells like.
Fresh balls.
Up against a sack of balls that has had that, but I've seen it on somebody's hands before.
Never up against a sneaky sack of balls.
Yeah, so apparently there's 8 scenes. I'm looking at it's a scratch card with 1 through 8 on it.
Yeah.
And during the movie, like it's a gear with a number in it. It'll pop up, and then I guess you scratch that number and smell it.
Is George Lopez still a part of Spy Kids?
I know Joel McHale is.
Who?
From Community, and he hosts Talk Soup.
Oh, okay. He's in it. Hey, they added somebody big to Community. They added...
John Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think John needs some money.
That's what I was thinking. He probably...
You know what? I did a play with him and Ryan Reynolds, and he had lost all that weight, and he was saying stuff like that. That he,
He needs some money?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I don't see whatever that guy is in Spy Kids. Who's
the star? Wasn't it George Lopez?
I thought so, but now
in the beginning, right?
Jessica Alba, Joel McHale, Jeremy Piven, Danny Trejo. He's in everything too. Ricky Gervais.
So what do you smell? Like what?
Figure it out,
bacon? What would you want to smell? I'd rather you'd want to smell, Jessica Alba, right?
Yeah. All right, here it is, the 8 smells.
All right, hold on. Go around the horn with me, would you please?
Okay, here we go.
Around my own horn. I'm going around my own horn. You smell something cooking. That would be one smell. You smell somebody's perfume. That would be another smell. You...
the grass? The outside? The grass?
Wet animal? Some 8 smells. Wet animal. Are any of the smells duplicate smells, Garrett?
3 are the same thing.
You would smell flowers. Linen, fresh linen.
5 seconds.
And breath.
You just went around the horn with yourself.
Yes, I did.
All right, you ready?
Each one of my personalities went around the horn. Go ahead. What do you smell?
Number 1 is bacon.
I said that, bacon.
They say it doesn't smell like anything. Number 2, blue cheese. And it
That's
actually
food.
smelled like nothing. Smells exactly the same as the bacon. Number 3, candy. And number 4, candy. Number 5, candy. Number 6, baby poop.
Baby shit?
Yes.
Like
you
fun.
go to the movie, you pay $8 or $10, and you smell baby. You smell baby shit.
Spy baby dirties her diaper, and everyone on screen remarks at the horrible odor. Rotten lentils. And then the next, number 7, dog farts.
I said farts.
It smells really bad. The raw material.
How would you determine which one's the baby shit and which one's the dog fart?
And then
they're pretty recognizable.
The final.
Can you imagine sitting in a multi-billion-dollar, movie company, and we're all in this meeting, and we decide what the scents are going to be. They had a meeting, probably lots of meetings. Then they had to go and go into a lab and figure out how to get. I mean, are you kidding? This is a fucking Hollywood. What's the last one?
The final one, boogers.
Boogers?
Yes.
Oh, the smell of boogers?
And the person wrote, it smells like something, but it has absolutely nothing to do with anything. That was it.
Oh, my God. Joe of San Diego, the Jay Thomas Show. Hello, Joe.
Jay?
Yeah.
2 things. John Waters had a tribute to Odorama, which was, in the 50s they were doing this stuff. Anyway, Polyester in 1981 had a scratch and sniff, and number 2 was what you thought it was going to be.
What, you mean it smelled like shit?
Yeah, exactly. So, and the other thing I wanted to say is a friend of mine had the Hustler magazine with the scratch and sniff.
Yeah.
You going to go around the horn and try to guess what it was?
Hustler had a scratch and sniff.
Centerfold, right?
Exactly.
I had that one, Garrett.
Really?
In fact, I still have it.
Wow.
Lilac douche.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
All right. You got to get up mighty early in the morning when you go around the horn with Jay Thomas. Stay where you are. No more pajamas at Mount Anthony Union.
The moon is up. It's getting late. Let's get ready to celebrate. It's pajama time. Oh, it's pajama time.
So we're back to school, and and I would say that probably Garrett and Christina's generation, you're in your 30s, you guys probably started all of this internet rebellion. Wouldn't you say it started with your group? Yeah, like
America Online 1994.
Like 15 years ago, you started trying to do what you wanted to in school and all of that.
Yes.
Okay. I was raised, I wore a uniform. But you did nothing. You were thrown out. You were sent home, whatever. There was discipline. And I will say this, that also, and I'm much older than you, but grades have continued to go down. Discipline is a huge problem. And let's go to mauhighschool.com, Mount Anthony Union in Bennington, Vermont High School. Let's bring on the associate principal, David Berriow. Is that how we say your last name?
Berriow. Mm-hmm.
Berriow. David, thank you for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
You have this dress code because, and I just started, my kids just got out of public school. They wear pajamas to school now.
Yeah, there were a few people. I mean, it wasn't as widespread as you might think, but one of the things we noticed is...
for the uses of this show, make it sound as horrible as possible. Would you please?
All right. Well,
I want you to make it sound like that you had to almost call out seriously like a SWAT team.
Okay.
Stop the kids.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
Well, I think we've seen the dressing down of America here, and with all the different styles, and we had the muffin top look a few years back where the shirts didn't meet the pants, and we were dealing with that kind of stuff. And a parent said to me, made a good comment. She said, you can't tell me that the kids that come to school in pajamas actually get up in the morning and say, I think I'll put on a clean pair of pajamas and go to school. So we're getting this idea of rolling out of bed.
Were they wearing it as a fashion statement? Like let's say I would put on a starched, pressed pajama outfit. Mm-hmm. You're saying they just got out of bed and it's got kind of that sleep sweat in it. Their hair is dirty and they're slippers are stinky. Right. And that's what it wasn't like a fashionable statement.
It was fashionable at my college. People used to do the pajama pants and a hooded sweatshirt, or they would go to the hospital and get the what are those called? the scrubs, and they would wear those also, the bottoms, and then a hooded
Were they
sweatshirt.
clean or dirty?
They were clean, but still, that's no way to look out in public.
Right.
I think it's the same way you go to a Walmart or your local store and you see people coming in sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
And
more in suburbia.
Exactly. It's the same.
Well, well, you're saying that body wear that contains or includes messages implicitly or explicitly that would have, so they would also wear outfits that would have what, pictures of cigarettes or booze or something?
Yeah, it could be booze, could be drugs, could be tobacco, and then it got into some. You could have some off-color, comments. It could be
sure.
Could be. We didn't have any racist ones, but certainly sexist ones.
What about? I have to tell you something. I think the word juicy on a woman's rear end is so provocative.
I agree with you.
And I see that in the street. Now, I mean, that sounds like an old fart and everything else, but the thing is, there's no other way to take that.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I saw that for the first time about a month ago.
Kristina, do you wear that juicy thing?
Absolutely not.
If my wife came out, I don't have a daughter, but let's say my wife comes out with juicy on her ass, I'm going, hey, I'm sorry.
Take it off, put it on. And
you know what?
Home.
It would be like me walking out with, home of the Whopper in the front. It's just not going to go.
I realized that things were taking a downturn when I had a parent come in to talk to me about her daughter that I was suspending, and as the mom turned around, and it was ample enough that she could fit the whole word on the back. It said bootylicious.
Oh, come on.
You were suspending her daughter, and the mom with bootylicious on her rear end came in.
So it wasn't like I was going to get a whole lot of philosophical, understanding from Mom about what was going on.
Now, David, Berrio, am I saying it right? Berrio. There you are at Mount Anthony Union in Bennington, Vermont. Can you get in some sort of First Amendment trouble by making the kids wear other outfits?
No, I mean we've researched this, and their rights are not affected as long. Certainly they're crossing the line when they wear something that's offensive. And
well, forget offensive. Pajamas. That's how we started this.
Pajamas.
They've got slippers.
We're perfectly fine with saying that we're setting a standard of civility, and we're teaching more and more etiquette at school all the time. So we're fine with doing that. It's not an infringement upon their rights, and I researched that, and there's not one place where I've seen that that sort of thing is been upheld by the courts as a negative thing.
Well, etiquette, when the word etiquette, actually, we have the freedom, I mean, this is an uncensored show, and we have the freedom under the First Amendment to say almost anything we want. And so what happens is, though, you're going to get fired from your job or you're not going to get a promotion. But at school, when you wake up and you decide not to put on your work clothes or whatever, it means you're still like half asleep. It's like, So let's see what the administrators have the final say. Shirts, blouses, and dresses must completely cover the cleavage, back, and top of the shoulders. So no cleavage.
No, and that's a bigger problem. Certainly the pajamas is not. That got the national attention was the pajama word, but it's more about the cleavage, about girls that are dressing, more suggestively, the spaghetti straps or a spaghetti strap and a bra strap showing, or a cutaway back that reveal that you could still see their bra.
Do you have the 4-finger rule above the knee for dresses?
Well, we thought about that, but we realized that there are different body types. We had a girl that had extremely long legs and extremely short arms, so we try to make a judgment call. We make it sort of mid-thigh is what we try to do. So we don't have a hard and fast measurement, no.
So now here's the other. I would go pick up my kids at high school, and I would see stuff going on. I would see outfits. They didn't seem to notice it in as sexually in a sexual way as I did. Mm-hmm. And what always amazed me that it seems like, and we're in California, you can imagine what I saw at the public high school, and half naked people making out, everything else. I would say, what's going on here? And both my sons, who are red-blooded guys, would kind of like deal with it as if it wasn't really happening. So maybe are they anesthetized by the skin and the way things are?
I think a lot of it has to do with what it goes back to, Brittany, Lindsay, and Paris, and then you take the Jersey Shore into play. And I think that they're just inundated with all these kind of things that they see as celebrity, and they start to copy it. So, do I think a lot of it is overtly trying to be sexual? No, I think you're absolutely right that a lot of it is just they're copying what's out there, and unfortunately, what's out there that they're hit with is not necessarily positive or attractive.
It isn't to you, but it doesn't make a bit of difference to them. So that puts us in the old fart category. And here's the deal. What about when you have school dances and stuff? Mm-hmm. If you have this dress code at school dances, you're not going to have anybody to dance.
Well, I got to say one thing we do is we're a little bit more lenient at dances. If it's going to be in the beginning of the year or the end of the year, spaghetti straps are fine because it gets real hot in that cafeteria and the windows fog up. So, we try to be reasonable about it. So
makes you want to go back to high school, doesn't it, Garrett? Dancing in the cafeteria, So let's go to the Pajamas. That's how this first started. Yep. So there you are. How long have you been at the school?
I've been there for, 30 years. 30 years.
Okay. So you see lots of boys, men, girls in pajamas, and guys too? Guys coming in?
There are very few, but predominantly girls.
Not only girls. And then the slippers and all. And so you said, what did you have to say? You had to say it was a safety hazard? Because you couldn't
they misquoted me on that. What I said was that the slippers were a safety hazard, but the way the banner, the paper put it out, they ran together. No, the slippers were certainly because, they were wearing ones that weren't necessarily having a sole to them. And
like Snooki slippers. They had like animals on them, big and fuzzy?
No, they were just the old slip-in kind.
Oh, because that's the new thing now is the big
shower
fuzzy
to
frog
a bedroom.
slippers.
But that would probably be the next step if we didn't say something because they always want to one-up each other. But we were
so if there's a fire in the school or there's a God forbid an emergency, you start running in your slippers and your pajamas. The string comes undone. The pajamas bottoms fall down. It's a safety.
This is now your fantasy.
You're unable to hold up your juicy sweatpants and run for your life.
What about Crocs?
Oh.
No, we have some of those, but we didn't go that far. No, we don't want to. We don't want them totally to feel like this is like Big Brother here. So, can I see where that would be a problem? Maybe, but we don't really get into that.
If you've been at this for 30 years, then that's
Well, I started as a teacher. I've been in administration.
But I remember being in elementary school and our the Bart Simpson shirts got taken away. And
what my kids
has been a thing all along.
When they were little. God, what's the game they used to play? They used to trade these cards in elementary school.
Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon. Yep. They banned Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Now, it didn't happen at our elementary school, but there were schools where kids were being beaten up for their Pokemon cards and all that kind of stuff. Garrett, when you were in high school, so you're, 32 now? Something like that? 33. So like 16, 17 years ago, would you wear a Jets jersey? Is that what you wore to class? That was it?
No, I wore my wide leg Jenko pants.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah. My belt with a chain on it. I mean,
my wallet with a chain
on it, yeah.
Wow. And was anything
flannel
ever banned?
Shirts.
You
flannel
weirdo.
Shirt?
I mean, I guess curse word shirts and like the obvious stuff, but there was no one. When I was in high school, I was more afraid of, wearing the same thing within like 2 weeks or wearing something dirty. Or, I never even wore jeans.
Oh, you mean like... And you didn't worry about... And you
right, you
dirty?
Like to wear clean clothes.
Yeah, like I got embarrassed thinking, oh, God, maybe I come in and someone sees me looking untidy or
What
something.
about now? I see you in the same sweatshirt every day.
Exactly. That's why I don't care. That's why...
Kristina, what's the worst outfit you ever wore in high school?
The worst outfit? No, I was all right in high school. I didn't...
You look good?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember in elementary school we used to get in trouble a lot because we all thought we were Madonna. And we got, the slap bracelets. Do you remember those? They're like Venetian blinds that you would slap onto your wrist.
Wow.
Those
you know what, David? I bet you can't wait till you retire.
Actually, I like what I do. So, no,
you do? Okay.
It doesn't get to me. I think the majority of our kids are very cooperative, and it's not a rampant thing. It's just something that we have to keep on top of. And I think that more and more schools are trying to teach civility of not just in how you dress, but in how you speak and how you act. And I'm not at all jaundiced by this. To be honest.
Well, you know what? In Detroit, there's actually been a program for a long time. and a black woman started, African American. She said, "Look, you can talk any way you want to at school, but when you go to try and get a job, there's business English." Right. And they went through a whole big thing about that. I'm from Louisiana, where black, white, or whatever, we have a weird way of talking, okay? And it's the same thing. You would hear the governor of Louisiana years ago or whatever, and you'd think, I know this guy's a college graduate. He just sounds dumb, you know? And so I believe in all those things. But it's weird. There are a lot of court cases that stop it, you know?
There are, yeah.
A lot of court cases stop this stuff. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Well, look, David, thank you. David Berriew of Mount Anthony Union in Bennington, Vermont. Go to mauhighschool.com. How's the football team doing?
Well, we're still waiting for our first win.
Okay, good. You know what? Tell them after they win the first game, you'll let the girls wear nightgowns and
perfect.
Use it as a bribe. You know.
There you go.
All right. And if they keep losing, the boys in the team have to wear those juicy sweatpants. Yeah, I'd be a great educator.
See what we can do.
All right. Thank you, David, so much. And what a great thing you do at the high school. Thanks, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Jay.
Okay, see you later. I sound like a nice guy, didn't he?
What's an associate principal?
No, he's an assistant principal.
No. Yeah, it's like
it says there, but
you know what they do all these words, you know. But I'll tell you what. We had at my high school, Jesuit High School, the prefect of discipline. And I had 2 or 3 of them. And when I look through my yearbooks and look at them, they look like they hired guys, these are priests now, who look like wardens at a prison. They have those eyes, and they were unsmiling, and now they call that guy the assistant principal or something. But the prefect of discipline is what it was called for 100 years at my high school. Because why sugarcoat it? You go in there, and you're going to get an ass beaten. That's it.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. All right. I love talking to these high school guys. They work their asses off. Kids come in scratching their, crotches.
Assistant principals, I would say they probably do the most. Principals do nothing.
And all those snow
guidance counselors, oh my God, they're the biggest joke.
Right?
You see,
they didn't do anything to help me.
No, it's because you guys didn't go in with the right attitude.
That's not true. I was an excellent student in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Excellent.
I would go into my counselors.
To disappoint anybody.
And I would sit with them, and I would listen, and I got something out of it. My friends, they would slouch. They would,
When you walked 5 miles uphill both ways in the snow,
no, I didn't do that.
Shoes, then it
but
was
I tell you what did happen in junior high school. The tough guys liked to have me around because I told jokes, but I really didn't do anything. The assistant principal, Mr. Siebert, would always have me in going, "I know you know what's going on," like that to me. I go, "I don't know what's going on." They liked me around him. He wanted me to be his spy.
Of course you did it.
I did not.
No, you did. It's the most obvious question ever.
I wasn't. I didn't. I did. You know what? I told him things, but they weren't the right things.
You mean pretend I'm one thing when I'm really doing another thing?
Well, all right. We'll be right back. Let's go to Matt of Texas. Yes, Matt, it's Jay Thomas. 888-410-210. 2 fucking football games tonight. I don't even have to masturbate tonight, Garrett. I've already come twice. All right? I've already come twice just thinking about what's going to happen. Okay? All right. Yes, go ahead, Matt.
Hey, what's up?
I'm good.
How you doing, dude? How's it going?
Good.
Actually, I had 2 questions that you maybe could help me out with.
Sure.
I got a date with this black girl tonight, but I don't know, what, I started dating black girls recently, but, I mean, is there what's the word?
You want to go where she would go. You go to that side of town, and you go into the clubs that she wants to take you in and everything else, and then tomorrow you wake up dead. So you have a nice fucking night, okay? You go dance, you fucking hump on her in front of all of her friends and rub her tits in her ass and talk like a black guy, and we will never hear from you again. Have a nice